Welcome back, episode 164 of the Bears' latest podcast. I'm your host, Colton St. Vincent. Thank you to Underdog for sponsoring this video. Scan this QR code, download the app. While that downloads, let's talk Bears football. All right. First up, potential cut candidate, Colton St. We have Bleacher Report writer Christopher Knox. We talked about him a couple times on this show. Name 7 players who are cut candidates. You see, he says, go read the article yourself. But he says, if the Bears can't work out a restructure or find a trade partner for Kmet, they can save $9 million by releasing him after June 1st. If Chicago can add some depth behind Colston Loveland over draft weekend, releasing Kmet would be a good amount of financial sense. If Kmet does become available, adding him should be a priority for virtually any team in need of a pass-catching tight end. Notre Dame product did these stats. Anyway, it seems like he's not out of the woods yet. I really think they're probably gonna. It would make sense to cut him. It unfortunately would make sense to cut him. I think he hasn't really clicked like he could. I mean, he had 330 catches for 347 yards last year. We can get that from like a 6th rounder, to be honest with you. Every year you see a guy in the 5th, 6th, 7th round undrafted that can do that. So if that's the production he's getting in an offense that seems like it's the best offense we've had in a very long time, unfortunately, I think it's time to move on. Sucks. I'm a huge Notre Dame fan. He's also a Chicago native, Chicago area, Chicagoland, greater Chicagoland native, and grew up a Bears fan, so would have been sick, but Colton St's given us some pretty sick moments, and I think it's time we save some money because we're sitting at $1 million cap space. I don't know how rookie contracts feed into that, so $9 million looks like a lot of money in this situation. So Colton St, appreciate you, man, but it's not looking good for you. But draft day is coming up. Ryan Poles recently attended the Miami Pro Day along with Cowboys head coach Brian Schottenheimer, some defensive coordinators, Aaron Glenn, Jeff Hafley, new Dolphins head coach, Kellen Moore, executive vice president Elliot Wolf of the Patriots, and Giants GM. That's a lot of people. I'm reading this on Sports Mockery. Run over there. This is Eric Lambert's article, so give it a look-ski. Sorry I keep banging this. This is pretty embarrassing, but go give it a look-ski. He says there's 100-plus NFL personnel at Miami Pro Day, including the names that I just named. Ryan Poles pretty much goes to pro days that he's of players he's going to draft. Only pro days that he's gone to in the last couple of years. 2023, attended a private workout with Darnell Wright, attended the USC Pro Day in 2024 for Caleb Williams, and then attended the Michigan Pro Day for Colston Loveland last year. So far this year, he's only confirmed to be at the Oklahoma Pro Day. So according to this, I haven't seen many Oklahoma prospects projected to go in the first round, so I don't think he would do it for that. So that brings us here to Miami. There's a couple names out there. In this article on Sports Mockery, they actually mention Ruben Bain and Akeem Mesidor, both possibly being available. If Ruben Bain is somehow on the table, get him now. Very small arms. So maybe this says he's got 30-inch arms. That seems short, but he also had 30-inch arms last season when he looked like an unstoppable force. So him and Montez Sweat could be a pretty sweet duo. On the other hand, Mesidor. I don't know how many Miami games you guys watched this season. If this guy were to somehow fall into our lap, he's absolutely insane. Akeem Mesidor, defensive tackle. And he literally, I think he had like 16 sacks last season. But he's turning 25 this year. So I think the age might play into the Bears' hand here. In the past 10 years, the highest non-quarterback player, 24 years or older going into a draft, was Jared Verse in 2024, 19th overall. So it's, and then actually before that, Jermaine Johnson at 26th. So that's the number that the Bears are hovering around at 25. So maybe, I don't know. So far we've been very good at evaluating college talent. Obviously did it correctly with Rome, did it correctly with Loveland. If they have eyes like I do, either one. I think Ruben Bain at 25 would be the steal of a lifetime. The dude I thought was a top 5 pick at the end of the season. So hopefully people are just dying about the arm thing. However, since the data has been tracked, no edge rusher with arms under 32 inches have gone higher than 18th in the first round. Melvin Ingram in 2012 was that player. So maybe top 15 pick, but they are looking at it as a significant risk. I'm looking at it as a perfect fit for one of our biggest need, if he's possibly there. So I don't care if he's got little T-Rex arms. He'll just barrel through you. So keep an eye out for that. All right? All right. Also keep an eye out for our good friends at Underdog. Thank you for sponsoring this video. Fast breaks, buzzer beaters, block parties are back. And Underdog is the best place to get in on all of the action. Playing on Underdog is easy. Just pick whether your favorite players will go higher or lower on stats like points, rebounds, steals, and more. If you get your picks right, you can win up to 5,000 times your cash. Download the app today. Use promo code FOOTBALLFAN. That's promo code FOOTBALLFAN to score $75 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. Promo code FOOTBALLFAN. Underdog. Make picks. Win money. Boom.
Must be 18 plus. 19 plus in Alabama and Nebraska. 19 plus in Colorado for some games. 21 plus in Arizona, Massachusetts, and Virginia. And present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/play and get terms, DFS, TML for details. Offer not valid in Maryland, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. In New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-878 or text HOMI 467-369.
We are on to Travis Homer. Third, fourth string running back, but he was everywhere on special teams. He played very well. He is taking his talents to Pittsburgh. It frees up a spot in our running back room, so I don't know if it's a good or bad thing. But I think I liked his spot. I don't know. He played 582 special team snaps, appearing in just 87 offensive plays. Grand total of 10 touches as a Bear. That's a pretty sweet number. However, he played at least 50% of the special team snaps in every single season. So very underrated spot on the team here. It's something that no one's going to talk about until the playoffs. Once every team is good, special teams is what actually separates a lot of teams in the playoffs. So losing guys is a bummer. However, if it's a money thing or an experience thing, an age thing, or just a personnel thing, do your best to get best. Good, better, best. Never let it rest till your good gets better and your better gets best. You know what I mean? Finally, Tyson Bagent. Rumors flying around again. Joshua Dobbs recently was reported by Ian Rappaport that they are planning to release backup QB Josh Dobbs after being unable to find a trade partner. Why is this important? Because that's another team that will need a backup. A lot of people might think you don't want an expensive backup like this. However, if the Bears want a cheap backup, you go get Joshua Dobbs, trade Bagent, and see if something like that can work. Seems like a journeyman, obviously, but every time he comes in, he has a little spark. That's kind of what you need for a backup. Kind of what Tyson Bagent did, and maybe it's not as expensive. Maybe this whole thing doesn't even matter, and we're keeping Bagent no matter what. What do I know? But another backup quarterback gets cut. That's another backup quarterback spot open for teams and coaches that really like quarterback play, really understand how important it is to maybe steal a game here and there with a backup. Tyson Bagent's a guy that can do that, but so is Josh Jobs. So I'm not sure if this adds any more layers, but if you do hear stuff, you now know why. So keep that in mind, because that's it. Episode 164 of the Bears' latest podcast. I'm your host, Colton St. Vincent. I love Caleb and Ben Johnson. Thank you for watching. We'll catch you guys tomorrow.